Hey guys, welcome to Tactical Tuesday on Ghost Tactical. My name is Trey Miller. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Before we get going, guys, I want to welcome everybody. And if you haven't already, when you guys get in, go ahead and send us a chat right there. Tell us who you are, where you're from. Feel free to ask any questions, guys. I've kind of got some things I want to talk about, but this can go any direction that you guys want to. For the main thing is we're going to have some fun talking about concealed carry tonight and home defense, and really kind of wherever you guys want to go with it, we'll go. I'll try to answer these questions to the best of my ability, but at this point, when you guys get in, go ahead and just say hey, and we'll get going. Before we get going, also, guys, if you guys like what you're doing, like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and the little bell will notify you anytime I put a video up, or anytime I have a new live chat coming up, it'll let you know. So I appreciate all you guys watching, and let's get going. What we're really going to first talk about tonight is concealed carry. There's a lot of things to discuss on concealed carry. I don't know why I have these in there anymore. But there's a lot of things we can discuss with concealed carry. Hey, what's up, Hemi? Wisconsin, all right. Saw you last night or a couple nights ago over at Braden's chat, so welcome. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, the first thing is concealed carry. Like I said, there's a lot of ways you can go with concealed carry. Some states are more pro concealed carry than others, but that's okay. The best thing you want to do to get going, if you're thinking about concealed carry, every state's different with their testing and their classes and their permits and all that, but all you got to do is Google concealed carry permit in whatever state you're in, and you should be able to get a link to the state police or wherever they're hosting the concealed carry. They'll talk about the classes, how much it costs, and all that. It does take a couple months, guys. From the time you take the class, you got to take fingerprints and do a background check, all that good stuff. But once you get going, it takes a couple months for you to get your license. And in different states, it's different. In Arkansas, where I'm at right now, that's what it'll look like. It'll say concealed carry and all that jazz. So, all right, so we'll start out right now with concealed carry. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there, a lot of YouTube videos on what is the best concealed carry, and everyone's going to say this, everyone's going to say that. Guys, when I'm talking, it's my personal opinion. You know, it doesn't mean that it's by any means the law or anything like that, but what I talk about now is kind of what I feel about it. Concealed carry, they say, what's the best weapon? Concealed carry guns, man, it is honestly what you feel comfortable in carrying. What you can conceal the best. You obviously don't want to carry a big old 357 Magnum that you can see a mile away sticking out from underneath your shirt. But you're going to find something that you're comfortable with, that you're proficient with. A lot of people talk about they don't want guns with safeties on them. They do want guns with safeties on them. Guys, it's a personal preference. If you feel safer having a safety, a thumb safety on your gun that you conceal and carry, then by all means do it. What I will say at this point is if you're going to carry, you need to not just carry once a day or once every week or once every month. You need to consider carrying every day if possible. The more proficient you are, the better you'll be. Guys, if you're having problems hearing me, let me know. I can't hear what's going on your side, so everything sounds good. I want to continue to go, but if something happens, just let me know, and we'll go from there. But what we're going to discuss first is concealed carry guns and what I think are the better guns out there to conceal carry. I'll show you what I carry, what I have carried, what I do carry. I usually will carry one particular gun, but I have others that I have and will carry at one point. Hemi says he likes carrying his Rhino 200DS. There you go. But like I said, the safety, that's really up to you. If you feel more comfortable having a safety on it, then by all means carry a gun with safety on it. I'm going to go ahead and show you the 3 guns that I carry regularly. My everyday carry, which if you talk about the stats, is probably the #1 carry gun. This is, by the way, everything's unloaded. This is my everyday carry. This is a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9mm. I'm a big fan of the 9mm round. I think it's a phenomenal round. Yeah, 40, 45s are great. 380s are good, but for me, a 9mm is where it's at. This is my everyday carry. It's pretty thin. I don't want to point in my face, but it's pretty thin. It's pretty lightweight, and it's got a really good 9mm round. So that's my everyday carry. A lot of people say that the most popular gun in the world is the Glock 19. That is my Glock 19. Guys, this is my favorite gun. It's a favorite of a lot of people's all over the world, but this is my favorite gun. But I don't necessarily carry this every day. To me, it's a little bulky to carry every day. I actually use this in competition, and when I shoot IDPA, I shoot the CCP, which is the compact carry pistol division. So this is my competition gun, but I have carried this, and I will carry this occasionally, but it's not my everyday carry. The next gun I'm going to show you guys is actually a gun that I got from my daughter, but it is a phenomenal concealed carry pistol for man or woman. I think it's really set up best for women to carry, but this is a Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard. It's a 380. It's very thin, as you can see. It's a great gun. It's a 380 round. It does have a thumb safe on there, so you can use that. It does come with, not this particular one, but some do come with an attached laser on there, which I think is phenomenal. Hopefully, guys, if you have a laser attached to your gun and you have to draw your pistol in a situation and you point that laser at someone, hopefully you'll never have to pull that trigger because they'll see that laser and they'll go. But I'll always say, if you pull and you draw your pistol, you better be ready to shoot it. So be proficient in it and all that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a list of carry guns and give you some specs on them that are very, very good and all that stuff. I talked about the M&P Shield 9mm already. That's what I carry on a daily basis. That's, in my eyes, the best concealed carry gun out there. Like I said, it's just my opinion, but I love it. It's my everyday carry. The Glock 19 I talked about already, and I talked about the Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard, the 380. Great gun, but it's more or less for it's a small capacity and all that. We'll go into a little capacity here in a little bit, but some really other popular guns. I'm not saying to go out and buy one, but if you're going to be a concealed carry and you don't have a gun, these are some ideas that you might want to think about. The Glock 26, it's also known as the baby Glock. It's a very, very popular gun because it is made for concealed carry, but it is still a 9mm round. A lot of people like it. The barrel length is about 3.5 inches roughly. Loaded, it weighs about 25, 26 ounces. So it's very lightweight, very small. The M&P Shield 9mm is about 3-inch barrel, smaller barrel than the Glock 26, and loaded it was about 25 ounces. So it's a little bit lighter. That's why I like it. The Glock 19 is about 4-inch barrel, 30 ounces loaded. So it's a little bit bigger. Like I said, it's a little bit bigger. The Bodyguard is probably the smallest gun out there that I would recommend. It's about 2 3/4 inches, and it's about 17 ounces loaded. So it's really, really small. But going back to the Glock 26, the baby Glock, a lot of people say that the concealed carry pistol, the whole market was based around this gun, and it very well could have been. It's a great gun. Hemi's up there. Highly recommend a CAR PM CM9. Like I said, guys, Hemi carries some different things, but it's one of those things where you got to feel comfortable with what you carry. The Glock 26 is about 3.4 inches. Loaded weight's about 26 ounces. Then we're going to go into the Glock 43. Now, the Glock 43 is really kind of a great gun for concealed carry. Very well could be, if I get another concealed carry gun, that very well could be my next purchase for concealed carry. 3.39 inches, 23 ounces loaded. It's a very, very cool gun, very, very small gun, and it's very easily concealed. A lot of people go with a Walther PPS M2. That's a great gun, 3.2 inches, 27 ounces loaded. I tell you, a very, very popular 9mm carry gun in the last couple of years has been the Ruger LC9S. A lot of people that I know carry that gun. They love it. 3.1 inches, 23 ounces loaded. You know, if we're going to go, one more gun I want to mention as far as a 380 caliber would probably be the Glock 42. Now, this is Glock's version of a 380. They have a couple other 380s, but it's basically for law enforcement only, for like a backup gun. The only one that's out there for the public for 383 Glock right now is a Glock 42. It's 3.2 inches, 17 ounces loaded. So it's going to be very, very similar to the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. But as far as caliber goes, you can carry whatever you want, guys. You don't have to sit there and say it's 9mm or 380. You can go 40. You can go 45 if you want. Find a gun that you feel comfortable carrying. The weight, the size is good for you. And the caliber is something you like. Like I said, I personally love a 9mm round. So my everyday carry is an M&P Shield 9mm. Because I like the 9mm round, but I also have carried the Bodyguard 380. This will be my daughter's carry gun when she's old enough to get her concealed carry, but this is the gun that she uses. And also my Glock 19. Phenomenal. My favorite gun of all time. For me, it's a little bulky to carry on an everyday basis. There will be times when I use it for concealed carry, but most of the time it's my Shield 9mm. What kind of rounds do you guys use for concealed carry? It's really up to you. You know, me personally, I use a 9mm round, but I use a Hornady self-defense round. It's a hollow point. If I'm going to pull my gun on someone, I feel, you know, imminent danger. I want to make sure that I get the most destruction out of that round that I can, and the hollow point seems to do that trick. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink real quick. A lot of people talk about how many rounds you can get in a gun, and that's their big distinction on what gun they get to carry. I don't worry too much about how many rounds my gun will carry. The 380 Bodyguard, that's right, Hemi, the 9mm Hornady Critical Defense, phenomenal round. Hollow point, it's a great 9mm round if you're going to carry. It'll do some damage, and it's a really great round. But the 380s, you're going to carry usually about 5 or 6 rounds. My M&P Shield 9 with my extended mag, which is right there, my extended mag. There's my hollow point Hornady right there. That's my round that I carry in it. I can carry 8 + 1 in the chamber, so 9 total rounds. Glock 19, I can carry 15 + 1, so I can carry 16 rounds in that Glock 19. But a lot of people sit there and say you want as many rounds you can get. Guys, it's really up to you. I'll tell you what my thing is if you're having to pull a gun, my biggest thing is I don't need to have 16 rounds in a gun. Hopefully, if you're fairly proficient with a gun and you have to pull it in a situation where you're in imminent danger, hopefully you're not going to have to unload 15 rounds in someone to stop that violence in that situation. Hopefully 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5, 6 can get it done. So don't base your concealed carry weapon on how many rounds it will carry. You can get a lot done with a 6-round mag, an 8-round mag, whatever you want. Let's say Hemi says 357 mag. That's a pretty heavy round to be carrying. He is bringing up something, 357 or a 38 special. There are a lot of people that do carry revolvers, and there are some great Colt and Smith & Wesson revolvers that are 6-shot. They're made for concealed carry. I personally am not a big revolver fan. I know, don't shoot me. It is what it is. I don't carry a revolver. I'm not a revolver guy, but there are a lot of people out there. So revolvers are actually really good for women, anyone that wants to use them. So if you like revolvers, there's some great revolvers out there that are specifically made for concealed carry. So just because I'm not talking about a lot of revolvers doesn't mean that you shouldn't get them. I'm a semi-auto guy. I like pistols instead of revolvers a little bit more. But 357 that Hemi likes, that'll pack a punch. Typically, if you're using a 357 Magnum, your gun's going to be a little bit bigger, and it's not always easiest to conceal. But if that's what you like, by all means, man, go for it. But getting back to the concealed carry, I'm not a big proponent of having to have 15, 17 rounds in your gun for concealed carry. Hopefully, one round will stop the threat, and you can either get away from that threat or you've taken care of it. So don't be discouraged if you see 5 or 6, 7 rounds in these concealed carry guns, because if you're proficient enough, you're not going to have to unload 15 rounds. Also remember, guys, from our last chat last week with Sheriff Brown, once you have basically gotten rid of that threat, one more round is excessive force, and that's when you start getting to legal issues. So if you can stop a threat with 1 round, then shoot 1 round. If it takes 6 rounds, take 6 rounds. If it takes 15 rounds, take them. But once you have stopped that threat, 1 additional round is excessive force, and that opens up a whole box of issues. So concealed carry, I'm a big proponent of concealed carry. We are our first line of defense when we're out in public. If we're in a situation to where we feel imminent danger from someone, or a threat to my family or someone else that's nearby, and it might take 5 minutes for the police to get there. I'm not saying take the law into your own hands, but you got to do what you got to do, and that's where the concealed carry comes into play, is to be able to defend yourself, your family, and other civilians around you when there is an imminent threat. So like I said, the concealed carry permit, you can Google concealed carry permit in whatever state you are, find out where you have to send your paperwork in. Like I said, you got to get fingerprints. They'll do a background check, and it takes a couple months for you to get it from your class and all that. The class usually takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. You'll have classroom discussing the laws, what you're able to do, what you're not able to do, and then you'll have to do some shooting. They want to make sure that you are at least somewhat proficient with a firearm before they give you a license to carry. It's nothing difficult. If you have a good instructor, they'll help you out, but it's one of those where be proficient in it and all that. Guys, I want to welcome everybody to Tactical Tuesday here on Ghost Tactical. My name is Trey Miller. Guys, if you're here, go ahead and say hello in the chat, and tell us who you are, where you're from, ask any questions. We can take this wherever you want to go. I'm going to try to stay on a couple different points. But if you're here, say hello to us, and on the live chat, we'll answer any questions you may have. Hemi, I'm glad to see you here, bud. That was a pretty good talk that Braden had the other night. Welcome back. If you guys like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and all that, check out my other videos. Hit the subscribe button for me. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I'm not going to go into that much stuff, but I appreciate you here. The next thing that we want to start talking about is home defense. And the concealed carry is one side of it. Home defense is another. And we're going to talk about some guns and some weapons that are going to be good for home defense. Not all guns and not all rifles and shotguns are good for home defense, because you have to remember, guys, when you're inside your house and someone's invading your house and you feel imminent threat and danger to your family you do have the right to take care of that threat if you feel like your life's in danger. But not all guns, not all caliber of rounds are going to be something that you want to use inside the house, depending upon what kind of house you have. Is it brick? Is it wood? Whatever. But there are rounds that will penetrate the outside walls to go the outside, and you never want to shoot something that's going to penetrate outside, and there could be other people outside. So as far as guns go, I'm a big believer in home defense. If you have the option and you have the availability, pistols are the best home defense weapon, because it only really takes one hand to operate this weapon. That leaves you excuse me, your other hand for if you have your child or your wife or your husband, whoever you are, you have to help move them around. You have a free hand. With a rifle or a shotgun, you're probably using both hands. What's Hemi say? Home defense, I have a Maverick 88, 12 gauge, 7+1, and a CZ 75. Tactical 18+1, 9mm. I love the CZ. We'll get into that. I'm looking at a couple 9mm carbines. That I'm looking at a Scorpion and a CZ Scorpion, and I'm also looking at a Beretta CX4, both carbines that shoot 9mm rounds. Once again, I like 9mm rounds. AR-15s and all that shoot 5.56, phenomenal. But yeah, that Maverick 88 12 gauge, CZ 75, tactical 18+1 9mm. That's very nice, Timmy. I like it. Have some pistols in safes or nightstands, wherever you keep them. A pistol's a great way. Like I said, you only have to use one hand to shoot that. That leaves your other hand free for getting people to other places, turning on and off lights, whatever you got to do. It leaves you with a spare hand, with a flashlight, whatever you got. So you have that. As far as caliber, obviously a 380. 380 is going to be great. A 9mm is phenomenal. A 40, I would say you can go to a 40 and be safe. Much more than that, I wouldn't necessarily go to a 45 for home defense. A 45 rounds will typically have enough firepower that it could penetrate outside walls and all that, shooting through walls. So you always want to be cognizant of who's on the other side, what's on the other side. So a 45, I'm not saying you can't, but I would say, in my opinion, a 40 is about as high as you want to go. 9mm and 380, light them up, man. Light them up. Those rounds are going to be great. Rifles. AR-15s. Great guns. 5.56 round. 5.56 rounds are probably going to be just fine inside your house. The 5.56 round is a good round, but it may not shoot through brick and all that, so you should be safe. AR-10s, when you start talking about a 9.72 round, the 7.62 round is going to get through and penetrate some walls and some brick and all that. So that's where I would probably draw a line. AR-15, the 5.56 round, great round. If you're looking at a carbine, there are a lot of 9mm or what they call pistol caliber carbines. A 9mm carbine, like I said, there's a bunch of them out there. You can Google them. The Beretta CX4 is a great one. The CZ Scorpion is a great one. But you're looking at 9mm rounds through a carbine, so you can use the same ammo that you do with your guns. What does Henry say? I personally think rifles in most places are too much. I live in a town and have close neighbors in every direction. Exactly. Not saying you don't use a rifle by any means, but just make sure you're using a rifle that is going to be safe for people outside your house and those walls. Like I said, a 9mm carbine, caliber carbine, whatever you want to call it. Even an AR-15 that has a 5.56 round should be safe. I would not go maybe to a 7.62 round AR-10 if you're talking about home defense. Have them if you want to shoot for fun, but home defense might be a little too much. 9mm round carbines, phenomenal, phenomenal. Shotguns. Shotguns, if you're not going to use a pistol and you want to use some sort of a rifle or a shotgun's probably the best way to go, especially if you're not the most proficient marksman in the world. A shotgun is not going to shoot through walls and outdoor barriers that's going to endanger the people on the outside. It will tear you up if you're close to them. You know, buckshot, bird shot. It really doesn't make a difference. But a nice 12-gauge shotgun, a tactical shotgun, all of those shotguns will be just fine to use in the house. Once again, you don't have to be the most proficient marksman in the world to shoot a shotgun. As long as you're in the general direction, it's going to spread and it's going to hurt. So a lot of people will go to that. A lot of people have never shot a shotgun. There's a little bit of kick to it, but you'll get used to it. No matter what gun or weapon that you choose to have as a home defense inside the house, make sure that you're going to a range or somewhere to practice shooting those weapons so that when the time comes, if you have to use it, that you're actually proficient enough to know where the safety is if there is one, how to get your sights, how to get your shots down. You never just want to say, I'm going to go buy a gun, put it in the safe. When the time comes, I've never shot it, I hope it works. That's not always the greatest recipe. It is a good recipe for disaster. But understand that chances are, it sounds bad, but these days that if someone's going to enter your house and they have the gall to enter your house to try to steal things or have bodily harm to you or your family, they may have a gun. They probably have a gun of some sort as well. So you're not going to have a whole lot of time to sit there and say, well, how do I aim this and all that? You get it down and you take a shot. Home defense, it's, like I said, it's a personal preference. My biggest thing is once again, feel comfortable with your weapon, feel comfortable with the caliber, make sure that you're not endangering outside people by choosing the wrong caliber. Like I said, pistols, I would say 40 is probably the highest caliber you want to go. 9mm, 380, use them all day long. Rifles, you can use a 9mm carbines, what they call 9mm carbines. They call them pistol caliber carbines, which is basically the same rounds you can put in your handgun, and you can use them in there. Like I said, there's a lot of them out there. I'm looking at a couple different ones that I'm choosing between. It's either going to be the CZ Scorpion or the Beretta CX4. Both of them are really good, but you can Google 9mm carbines or pistol caliber carbines and YouTube them, whatever you got to do, and you'll find all sorts of good stuff. AR-15s, I think they're just fine. 5.56 rounds, a great round. I shot that in the Marine Corps. Great round. But once again, it will be relatively safe through brick houses and all that to where you don't have to worry about the outside. AR-10s that carry a 7.62 round or anything that shoots a 7.62 round, I'd be real careful with that, guys. That starts talking about penetrating brick and penetrating barriers that could endanger someone outside the house. Not saying you can't use it, just be real careful. Remember, if you call 911, let them know you have an intruder in your house, you feel like your life is in danger, you have a gun, and by the time they get there, you've had to use your gun. Once again, don't flee. Stay there. Understand that a couple things are going to happen. Don't have the gun in your possession when the cops show up. Lay it down somewhere. Don't have it, because if you walk out of the house, hey, guys, I shot the bastard, I shot him. They don't like guns being waved around. So drop your gun. But understand you're going to have some questions that you have to answer. They are probably going to cuff you. It's not because they think that you're a bad person, but they need to be safe as well. They're going to ask you where the other guns are, who all is left in the house, are they armed? So just answer the questions. Let them do their search. Let them clear the house. They'll come back. They'll start talking, answering questions, and then you'll be fine. But just kind of go with the flow. What's Hemi got to say? Totally agree. My AK is not for crap hitting the fan, not for home defense. No, your AK-47 is probably not your best line of home defense. But I will say that if it's the only gun you have, then and your life's in danger or your family's life's in danger, then by all means use it, but understand what the consequences are. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Hemi. AK is probably not the way to go. That 7.62 round's a pretty powerful round. But like I said, if it's the only thing you've got, then by all means you got to do what you got to do. But understand the flip side of that is make sure you know what's outside. But that's just kind of gun rules as it is. Always know what's downrange, what's behind your target. Now, kind of going into the home defense. When someone intrudes and enters your house, and you don't want to stay in a place that's got 3 or 4 doors. You don't want to stay in a wide open place. You want to try to go to a place that has one way in and one way out, and maybe even stand in a corner or behind cover or concealment. Now, people will sit there and ask what the difference between cover and concealment is, so we'll go into that very, very briefly for those of you guys that don't understand the difference between cover and concealment. Cover is basically any barrier, a wall, basically anything that you're going to be safe that if someone shoots, it's going to stop that bullet, stop that round from penetrating through and get you. So if you're standing behind something and someone shoots at you, it's a wall or whatever, and that round will be stopped by that barrier. That is cover, okay? Now, concealment is a barrier that blocks you from the line of sight from another person's weapon. Unfortunately, concealment does not necessarily mean that it's something that's going to stop a bullet, okay? Now, there's an old saying that in the Marine Corps that I had, that all cover is concealment, but not all concealment is cover. Okay, so all cover is concealment because it's a barrier that will shield you from the line of fire, a line of sight from an enemy. But not all concealment is cover, because a concealment may not be cover if a round or bullet can penetrate that barrier and still hit you on the other side. If it does, then that's not cover. So you want to try to find something that has cover, that you feel if someone shoots at you, that round will be stopped before it gets to you or your loved one. So, you want to try to find something. Everyone should hopefully have a fire escape plan for your house. If there's a fire, where to go, what to do. I would also sit there and say that you probably want to have an intruder plan in case someone gets in. Have several guns if you have the availability of them. Have some guns hidden in some places that are secure. It may not necessarily be a safe, but secure away from little ones and all that, but in different parts of the house, so that no matter where you are in the house, you'll have quick access to a pistol, shotgun, rifle, whatever it is. Spread them out over the house if you have the availability, if you have enough. Make sure that they're not easily in the hands of little ones. Like Sheriff Brown last week said, having all of your guns in a safe is not always the best way to go, because it takes a while to get into that safe. And what if that safe's on the other side of the house and you can't get into it? So I like to kind of spread the guns around, and we know where they are, but they're safe, they're secure, but they're not in a safe sometimes. But go where they are. Have a plan as to no matter where you are in the house, you have zone it out, whatever you want to call it. Wherever you are in the house, you have what they call it a safe room. It's not a safe room that you think of in the movies that is impenetrable and all that. A safe room is a room that you can go to hide, that has one way in, one way out. If that person enters that room, you light them up. A closet, a bathroom, something like that, that has one way in or one way out. Make sure you get your family all in that one room, so that anyone else that comes through that door, you know that they're bad guys. They don't need to be there. Warren Olmsted, what are some good pistol safes that allow quick access? Man, there's a bunch of them. Warren, I know that you've got some safes and all that. He's our local corner. He's a good friend of mine. So what's up, Warren? There are a lot of good safes you can Google. And a lot of them these days are small, like cigar boxes these days, that you can either do a fingerprint scan or like a four-digit little code. Hornady does have. I've got a couple different ones, but Google, quick access gun safes. And like I said, I'm not sitting here trying to sell one particular brand. There's a lot of them out there, but there's a lot of them that you can get to real quick, whether it's a fingerprint scanner or a four-digit code that you type in real quick and it opens up something that's safe and secure, but doesn't have to go through this big safe and all that. You can have these things. Like I said, a lot of them are the size of cigar boxes, just quick. It's just big enough to hold one pistol. So there's a lot of different ones out there. Horny's got a lot of good stuff that for defense stuff that they're kind of a one-stop shop place that you can kind of get a lot of stuff. Midway USA, if you guys aren't familiar with Midway USA, man, they've got pretty much everything that you could possibly want for shooting sports and all that. You can kind of go there and all that. Just look for quick access gun safes. And like I said, they're really good. There's a lot of different brands. But like I said, find a brand that's the price that fits your budget and all that. Hemi, try and get one with a bracelet or something like that. You just swipe over the safe and it pops. That's very true. You'll have a little thing that's got a little sensor on there, and it has a sensor on top of it. And instead of having to do a fingerprint or type in a code, you just swipe over it and it opens up for you. So yeah, good call on that, Hemi. I can tell you what I can do real quick is I can look a couple up real quick while we're talking. But quick access gun safe. So you do a Google on that, and you're going to go to shopping if you want, and you can pull up a bunch of them. Sentry Safe, Gun Vault SV500 Speed Vault handgun safe for $97. A Sentry Safe pistol safe, digital lock single gun access for $80. You've got all sorts of different things you can go with there. But yeah, Hemi's right. They do have the ones that are now with the technology. You just kind of wear a bracelet and it swipes it and it'll open up for you. But these quick access single gun safes are phenomenal. You can get some for cheaper than $80, $75. You can get some for relatively cheap. Spread them out. If you've got 3 guns, get 3 of them. Spread them out so you know that each kind of region or zone of your house, you've got access to one very quickly. Hope that helps you, Warren. Like I said, Google it. They're all out there. You can find all sorts of good stuff. When it comes to home defense also, guys, a lot of people will talk about it sounds being paranoid and all that. No, it's called being ready and being prepared. Like I said, have an intruder plan that someone comes in the house, no matter where you are in the house. You can get to your guns or your weapons as quickly and easily as possible. Make sure you call 911. Let them know what's going on. The last thing you want to do is, not call 911 because if things go badly, you always want those guys to be there. They're here to help. They're here to serve and protect. But we're also going to talk about, something we kind of touched on last week is safe words. Some people use them, some people don't. In the military, we have phrases that if we're out on a patrol and we hear something, we'll send out a phrase and they'll have to answer with a reciprocating phrase that matches it. And if they don't, then we're going to light you up because you're obviously a bad guy. But same thing in your house. You can use that. You can You know, use safe words if someone, your child comes home late at night on the weekend after hanging out with their friends, or you have a late night at the office, your wife's by yourself, or, you know, you're home and your husband's gone, and or your wife's gone and you're there by yourself. And, you know, the last thing you want to have happen is if you're in the bedroom at night and you hear your door open or something, a window break or something, the last thing you want to do is go ahead and grab your gun and start shooting, because it might very well be a family member or a friend that's supposed to be there. So you might want to start thinking of, you know, if you hear something, you say out a word and they have a word they're supposed to give back to you. That lets you know that you know who they are and they're safe. They're supposed to be there. That helps you out. If they don't give that word, whatever it is, well, get ready to have fun. Hemi, just throwing this out there, but I recommend having a dog in the house. Their sensors are way better than ours. The best alarm, in my opinion. Yeah, I've got a Great Dane. It's a 140-pound dog. That'll scare a lot of people away, that just when they come to the door, they see a dog that when he stands up on his hind legs, he's over 7 feet tall. It's a 150-pound dog. I'm not saying go out and get a Rottweiler or Doberman or German Shepherd or anything like that, but you're right. A dog out there, if nothing else, it might not scare the intruder away, but most dogs will alert and they will bark when they hear something that they're not accustomed to hearing. If someone tries to approach the house at night, absolutely. A dog will definitely alert you. If you live where I live, kind of out in the place where there's not a whole lot of cars that go by my house, we have a lot of deer and turkey that hang out by our house. My dog, once again, is a large dog. He thinks that the deer are his friends, so he barks when the deer show up because he wants to go out and play with them. Fortunately, sometimes he barks at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's not always fun, but it is what it is. But yeah, dogs are great. If you've got a dog, I'm a dog person, nothing against cats or anything else, but yeah, dogs are probably the best alert system. We call it security alarm system, whatever, but they're a great alert system because, you know, they're going to let you know when something's not right. They do have senses. They have hearing that's crazy. Their smell. So yeah, they're going to be great. But when it comes down to home defense, once again, guys, you know, go make sure that all your weapons are always secure. They don't always have to be in a big gun safe, but you know, you can go find a quick access safe out there that will fit 1 gun, maybe 2 guns or something like that. But they're not overly expensive, so you can go spread them out throughout the house and all that stuff. That you know, you can have them in different zones of the house. No matter where you are, you'll have quick access to a gun. You know, like Hemi said, they have ones with a bracelet on there. You know, if you have multiple people in your house and there's not enough bracelets and all that, you can always get one that has a four-digit code that everyone in the house can know. Just make sure everyone does know it, because the last thing you want to do is be split and you can't get to someone else, but they have access to a gun. They can't get to you, but yet they don't know what the code is to get that safe. So, you know, make sure they have, you know, that code to get in that safe as well. Home defense is, depending upon where you are. I'm very blessed to live in a town here in Arkansas that's a great little town. As far as crime goes, there's always crime everywhere, but there is not the deadly crime. Little Rock, unfortunately, has had some bad incidents that's happened. It's about an hour and a half from here. Yeah, they've had some instances happen this year that it's not always good. But where I live, I'm very lucky to be in a place that's relatively safe. But I'm always going to be prepared. I'm always going to have a plan in case something happens. You know, I tend to be somewhat of a heavy sleeper. I don't always hear everything, but my good thing is my wife is a very light sleeper. So if she hears something and she feels in danger, she'll wake me up. But she also will have a gun close to her. She's scared of guns, but I'll be able to get to it. She grew up in a place where guns are illegal. She's not from America. So she's never really been around guns, so she's a little bit scared of them. I'm trying to get her to take a couple classes because me teaching her how to shoot, as we all know, teaching your spouse is not always the safest bet to teach. But you know, get them out there. At least they'll be not scared on. They'll be at least familiar with them enough to know how to work them to where they respect them, but they're not necessarily scared of them. So that's my wife, and God bless her. I love her, but she does not like handguns by any means. I also, let's see here, Warren, absolutely, yeah. You know my wife. She's a great one, but she not necessarily is the biggest fan of holding a gun in her hand. So where I live, it's a lot of hunting that goes around with duck hunting, deer hunting, turkey hunting, and all that stuff. Like I said, most of these guys around here have rifles. And like I said, if that's all you have in your house and you've got a high-powered rifle, then by all means you got to use it. You got to use it. But if you're thinking about home defense and you're thinking about getting something that will help you out, like I said, my firm belief is a pistol is the best form of home defense weapon because it typically only takes one hand to shoot. That leaves your other hand to you know, take care of your family members, turn lights on and off, hold a flashlight, call 911 on your cell phone, whatever it is. You still only got one hand that's going to have to shoot that. A shotgun or a rifle, so we're going to take both hands. So that kind of puts you in a position to, especially if you're by yourself, that you're not going to have a free hand to do what you got to do. But you know, well, guys, we're coming up on 45 minutes. Any other questions? We'll get those out because we've got a few minutes. I don't want to keep you guys very long. I appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I'm not going to go into it, but if you are going to subscribe, go ahead and hit that the little bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I put a new video up and all that. My channel is Ghost Tactical. Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Tactical Tuesday is something that I've started up last week that it's not going to be the typical gun talk, live talk show that's going to talk about, hey, my favorite gun is this, and, you know, you're crazy if you like Taurus, and you're crazy if you like Sig Sauer. No, it's not going to be that. I welcome all opinions. I'll give you my opinion, but it doesn't mean it's the gospel. I'll welcome all opinions. This show and Tactical Tuesday is going to be more practical, real-world things of what you can take the gun talk and take it into real-world scenarios, what you can do to help better your life and your safety for you and your family. Each week we'll talk about something different. This week we're talking about concealed carry and home defense. So, you know, if you just getting this late, go ahead and say hi in the live chat. Tell us who you are, where you're from. I probably already know you, but still go ahead and say hi. And if you have any questions at all about anything, it's not even related to concealed carry or home defense. If you have a gun question of any kind, I'll be more than happy to answer it. If not, I'll tell you where you can go find it. It's a place called Google. No, but I'll try to answer all the questions I have. We're going to stay down here for a few more minutes, maybe about 10 more minutes, and talk about some different things. If you have a question, go ahead and send it out there. Once again, I want to say hi to Hemi. Hemi and I met a couple days ago on another chat for Braden, who is actually Langley Firearms Academy. Great channel. Braden's a great guy. I want to send out a shout out to him. He's got a lot more subscribers and followers than I do. I just started this thing about a month ago, so I'm trying to help grow this channel. I'm not going to make this channel to where you can make any money. I'm not here to make any money. This is purely trying to take my experiences and my knowledge, what limited it is, and talk about everyday thing is my military training. I've been shooting guns for a long time. I shoot competitively in IDPA, so I have some of that stuff. That if you have any questions on IDPA or competitive shooting, fire away. I love talking about that stuff. Warren, what kind of concealed carry holster do you like? Okay, here's a great question. There's really no perfect answer for that. It is exactly what you feel comfortable. There are two basic kinds. They're inside the waist, and outside the waist. And inside the waist is usually going to go inside, obviously, the waist of your pant. You can wear it on your hip, in front of you, behind you. I don't necessarily like going behind. I'm not a big proponent of going right in front of you. I like wearing it on my hip, but you can wear it in front, inside the waistband or outside the waistband. And really, no matter you're looking for inside the waistband. All right, Warren, I'll tell you a couple brands that are phenomenal that have really good stuff. You have Safariland. They're really good. Phobus, F-O-B-U-S. Phobus makes some really good stuff. I'm going to be right back. I've got a couple over here that I might be able to show you. All right. Sorry about that. Safariland. This is outside the waist with the paddle. It's a really good, $30 by Safariland. Phobus, F-O-B-U-S. This is another one, I believe, for my Glock. It goes outside the waist, but Phobus will also have a lot of inside the waist. You've got Uncle Mike's. You can find Uncle Mike stuff at Walmart or any kind of sporting goods store, and they're basically neoprene, a neoprene slide that the gun goes in. And that's what I use every day for my shield, is a little neoprene that goes inside. There's a clip that clips on the belt. Hemi, look into Nate Squared. Tactical have had 2 of their holsters, both Gen 1 and 2. Love them. Great inside the waist holsters. There you go. I use an Uncle Mike's. It costs like $10. When I'm carrying it, it's real small, fits inside the waist. Obviously, remember, guys, that if you're going to carry inside the waist, also they have phenomenal customer service. A lot of these companies have been around for a long time. The reason why they're there for a long time, they have good quality products, great customer service. Like I said, Midway USA. You can buy anything on there, but like I said, you can just Google inside the waist holsters. I use Uncle Mike. Like I said, it's a little neoprene sleeve for my shield. It clips onto my belt very easily. It's very comfortable. It's not bulky, very lightweight. Gun can come in and out of there pretty easily if I have to draw. So Uncle Mike's is a good one for cheap. You can find them anywhere from $10 to $100, and it really depends on what you're looking for. Personally, I go inside the waist most of the time, and like I said, I use an Uncle Mike's little neoprene holster. So, but they have outside the waist holsters. They have, I tell you another one, guys. I got this one for my little 380, and I love it. It's, it's called Urban Carry. Okay. And what I like about this is it's a full concealment holster. You can get them for any gun size. This is made for a little 380 that I got when I was carrying my bodyguard. But basically what happens is you're able to put this in there, and you see this will clip onto you'll stick this inside. I'm not going to show all the way, but you'll stick it inside right there. This will kind of go into your belt loop, and then it comes here. So basically, you're going to have it right here. And if I can show you, I might scroll down. You cannot see it. It's flat. So you can't see. You can carry it right here. It's flat. And all you got to do is to unholster. This is going to be tacked there. You just pull it up, pull your gun, and all that. It's a great one. It's called Urban Carry. And it's a full concealment. Sorry about that. It is a full concealment holster that it's leather. You can get it in black or brown. And basically what it looks like is when you have it on and it's attached to your belt and it comes over, it basically, no one will know exactly what it is. It almost looks like a little cell phone carrier here, to where you can walk around. It's going to stay flat here. But it's basically going to look like a cell phone carrier. Urban Carry. I got that, and it's a phenomenal. I love this one. Like I said, you can get it for any size, any make, any model, pretty much. Tell them what you have. And this is made for 380. Obviously, my shield will fit pretty much in there if I want to use it for this. So, you know, my shield will fit also in this, not just my 380, so bodyguard. But urban carry, I highly recommend this if you like carrying up front. That's a good one, urban carry. I got that online, and great customer service. Black or brown, you can go find them, but they've got really good stuff as well. I've got a few more minutes. Hemi, what you up to, buddy? What do you carry on a daily basis? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to flip the script, guys. I'm going to ask Hemi what he carries on a daily basis before we get out of here, and what's his setup with holster and all that stuff. So what you got there, Hemi? I want to hear from you. Warren, are you a carrier right now already, or are you looking to be a concealed carry? If so, obviously I see you all the time. We can talk and all that, but are you carrying currently, or are you looking to get into the concealed carry? Or it could be for Tracy or whoever. Hemi, I carry a Choppa Rhino. There you go, outside the waist. Warren carries a Glock 42. There you go. That's the little the Glock 380. Phenomenal 380. The best two 380s out there, in my opinion, are the Glock 42 and the Bodyguard. Both phenomenal guns. So yeah, it's really kind of up to you guys. Once again, it's up to you on what you want to carry. You don't want to carry something that's going to be overly bulky. You want to carry something that obviously can be concealed. One thing I want to touch on real quick before we go is I'll be on here for a little bit longer, I guess. Some do's and don'ts if you do carry and when you are carrying out in public. The last thing you want to do, there's a few things you don't want to do. One, you know, you don't always want to be adjusting your shirt. You're walking through Walmart or the mall or whatever, and you're constantly worried about, are people going to be able to see my gun through my shirt? So you're always kind of fidgeting with your shirt. It's not normal. It's not natural. So people are going to sit there and say, man, what is that dude doing? Why does he keep messing with his shirt? Well, eventually they're going to figure out, dude's got a gun. And not everyone is okay with concealed carry. Not everyone's okay with having guns out there. So you might freak somebody out. So don't mess with your shirt. You know, okay, Warren, just haven't found a holster that I like. Man, we'll talk. Give me a shout sometime. I can give you some really good holsters, ideas. And like I said, there's so many out there. It's really kind of figure out what's comfortable for you, the size, the weight, inside the waist, outside the waist. Hemi, my biggest tip for somebody just starting to carry is start inside your home to get comfortable with the idea. Absolutely. Just because you get your concealed carry permit doesn't mean you should walk out that very second, throw your gun on your hip, and go to town and have it. Be familiar with it. Be used to drawing from a concealed position. That's a great tip, Hemi. Do it in your house for a couple days and make sure that you're comfortable with it. But when you do go out in the public, don't mess with your shirt. I'll give you another one, and it drives me nuts to see people do this. I'm not saying that I never do it, but I try not to. Don't check your gun when you're out in public. You're walking down the grocery store, out in the mall, and you have the urge, oh, I want to check make sure it's still there. Make sure no one's taking it. Cards, you're going to know if it's not there. No one's going to walk up to you and take your gun out of your hip or out the front of your trousers without you knowing it. I promise you. The more that you bring attention to you having a gun, the more you're defeating the purpose of being concealed carry. Okay? Part of being concealed carry is to protect yourself. The other part of concealed carry that people don't think about is if you're in danger and you're in that imminent threat, you don't want everyone around there to know that you have a way to defend yourself. The element of surprise is huge. And we talk about the matter of seconds can depend life and death. The element of surprise is huge. So if you go walk around everywhere and every 5-10 seconds you're checking that gun, making sure it's there, and someone's out there kind of scoping out the property and seeing who's out there and who might be having a gun, and you keep touching your gun every 10 seconds, you probably be the first one they try to take out because they know that fool's carrying right there. So, you know, you'll get more comfortable with it. Like we said, if you work about it in your house some, you'll get used to it. Try not to touch your gun out in public. You know, you're going to know if it's there. You're going to know if it's not there. If you're not comfortable enough to walk around without touching it or fidgeting with your clothes, then keep it in the house until you are comfortable with it. Like you said, Henry has a great point. Well, guys, it is now 8:30 Central Time. We've been on for an hour, and that's all I kind of wanted to do. If there are no more questions and all that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Tactical Tuesday. Once again, my name is Trey Miller. Go by Ghost here on YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Ghost Tactical. I'm a former Marine that also does competition shooting, so I've been around guns for a long time. I feel like I'm fairly proficient with it. I'm by no means a pro or a master or anything like that, but I feel pretty good about it. So I'm going to do videos out there for IDPA, concealed carry, range drills, product reviews, all sorts of stuff. So if you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me and click that bell icon. It'll get notifications every time I put a new video up or every time I go live. It'll let you know. Once again, thank you for watching, and every Tuesday at 7:30. If I can't make it, I'll let you know, but every Tuesday at 7:30 Central, we'll have another Tactical Tuesday, and I'll try to bring some guests in and different things like that. But leave some likes, like it for me, leave some comments, share it, get the word out there. I'm a small YouTube channel. I hope that I have some good information to pass out, so the more people that know about us, that you know, the great. So Hemi, good seeing you, brother. I'll see you on YouTube and some more live chats here pretty soon. Warren, thanks for sticking around and all your questions. I'll talk to you pretty much anytime I want to, but appreciate it. It's a good buddy from my hometown. It's also a local corner, so we'll see you a little bit, guys. But until next time, guys, you know, thanks for watching Tactical Tuesday. We'll see you soon. Semper Fidelis.